Did it, and it happened. Congressman Ron Paul is making a third run for the White House. This morning, he announced he will seek the GOP nomination for 2012.
Today, and at this moment, I'm officially announcing that I am a candidate for president in the Republican primary.
Why?
Because time has come around to the point where the people are agreeing with much of what I've been saying for 30 years. So I think the time is ripe.
CNN's Jim Acosta is in Washington with more on Ron Paul. It's interesting, Jim, that he did it the old-fashioned way. He didn't tweet he was running. He announced it on Good Morning America on national television.
That's right, and you know, he's got to hope that the third time is the charm, Carol. That's right. This is his third shot at running for the White House. He is going to announce that he's running for president later on this morning up in Exeter, New Hampshire. So not a bad place to formally announce it after formally announce it this morning on Good Morning America. You know, one thing that we can say about Ron Paul, he is one of those rarities in presidential politics because he often says what is on his mind, unfiltered and unplugged. And he knows how to generate attention with his libertarian Republican views, such as ending the Federal Reserve and slashing foreign aid programs. But a lot of this is going to make Republican voters uncomfortable. Consider what he said yesterday on a talk radio show in Iowa, where he told the program's host he would not have ordered the killing of Osama bin Laden. Take a listen.
I just want to be clear. President Ron Paul would therefore not have ordered the kill of bin Laden, which could only have taken place by entering another sovereign nation.
I don't think it was necessary, no.
No, it wasn't necessary to do it.
It was absolutely not necessary.
Now, this comes just a week after Ron Paul said at the GOP debate down in South Carolina last week that he still supports the legalization of drugs, including heroin. And in that GMA interview this morning, Carol, I thought it was fascinating. A viewer on the program asked Ron Paul whether or not he believed that flood victims should be eligible for FEMA relief or whether or not FEMA should exist at all for people who are the victims of natural disasters. And he said no. According to his small government principles, people ought to fend for themselves.
It was fascinating. He said, you know, you should buy insurance. And if the insurance companies won't sell you insurance to live there, then it's too dangerous to live there and move out. You shouldn't be living there in the first place.
That's right, yeah.
The interesting thing, Jim, about Ron Paul, I'm sure, like, deep down inside, he doesn't expect he'll win. But one thing he can do is raise money. And let's face it, his son is now a lawmaker, so he's creating quite a dynasty. So there are other reasons that these kinds of candidates run for office, right?
Right, and he does have a point in that, you know, he said in that interview this morning that he feels that the country is sort of moving in his direction. The Republican Party is moving in his direction. The Tea Party, which is a major force in the Republican Party, has moved towards his limited government views, and so he's right on that accord, and that is why, you know, he still does show a kind of a respectable following in the Republican Party. If you look at the latest CNN polling, he's somewhere in the middle of the pack with about 10% of the support of Republican voters, not too far behind guys like Huckabee, Trump, Mitt Romney, Sarah Palin. And he does have a very loyal following, Carol. As you know, he wins a lot of these straw polls, did it just recently at the CPAC convention earlier this year. So Ron Paul has a very loyal following, and they will be out there loud as ever. And you know they can get loud, they can get noisy for Ron Paul, and they'll be out there in these early contests. He's not going anywhere.
And they like to give him money, too. Jim Acosta, live in Washington. Thank you. We'll have your next political update in 1 hour. And a reminder, for all the latest political news, go to our website, cnnpolitics.com.